By solving, they mean specifically to find all the sides and all the angles. All angles and sides must be found. If you don't know one of the angles or the sides, you're not doing the question properly. Sometimes you'll have to do Pythagoras. Sometimes you'll use the idea that triangles add up to 180. Start with 180 minus 90 minus some other angle, and that will equal the angle you want to find. So you're going to use several different methods of solving a triangle. I have to, or they have to, give you two pieces of information. That could be two sides, or it could be an angle and a side. Depending on which one they give you will depend on what you do to solve. Okay. So what we're going to do today, since we have to choose a ratio, we're going to just practice choosing a ratio. What does SO stand for? Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. So we have to have an angle there, like theta or a number. You cannot leave it blank. What does CA stand for? Adjacent over hypotenuse for cosine. And last but not least, tangent to what? Opposite over adjacent. So we're going to use that right now, practicing finding our ratios. Look at example 1a. Please label your HOA. You have to do that all the time. Here's the hypotenuse across from 90. There's the opposite the angle, and adjacent's left over. So when you're choosing a ratio, you're talking about side x and side y, which are a and h. Which ratio has a and h in it? Cosine. Okay. So for this question, you don't know the angle, so you're just going to go cos theta equals, instead of a over h, use y over x. Okay. So cos theta equals y over x. That's all we want. We're just practicing choosing the right ratio and setting it up. Please complete B, C, and D. Go. So B is tan theta equals x over y. C is cos theta. Remember that's a th, eta, theta. Cos theta equals x over y. Sine theta equals y over x. Any questions? Okay. So real quick review. Write the three primary trig ratios. So I want to know what is sine beta. Okay, beta. What is cos beta, and what is tan beta for the triangle on the left. So start by labeling your HOA. Sine beta, Hammond. Correct. Cos beta, Slater. Good. Tan beta, Caleb.
C over A.
Close, but that's hypotenuse. We want C over B. Okay, opposite over adjacent. Okay, so now that's, if I don't give you any numbers, you have to use letters, either lowercase or capitals. Now I give you numbers, so you have to use them. Let's start with tan beta this time. Then we'll go to sine beta. And then we'll go to cos beta. Okay. So go ahead. You might want to, first of all, find the hypotenuse. Right. Gotta find the hypotenuse. There you go. Sine beta, the scene.
2 over
Good. 2 over root 13. Cos beta, test curate.
3 over root 13.
Good. 3 over root 13. Okay. Now, if you have an older brother or sister, say, "Oh, that's not right. It's not supposed to be over root 13." Don't worry about it. Who cares? Just leave it. Okay. That's above us. Because that is the answer we will see. Okay. Well, no, some people have older brothers and sisters. They talk to them about that. Okay, so now we're going to solve. These are the 3 types of questions we can have. Solve for x. Start by labeling your HOA. Which ratio should we use? Devinder. So talking about O and A. Which ratio? 10. TOA, good. No, TOA is a good thing to say. It's better than not saying anything. So it'll be opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 50. And then we do the opposite of dividing by 50. Okay. And then we can go to our calculator. Go to 1 decimal, please. So we get an answer of 15.3. Okay. Good. B. Label your HOA. Now you have to choose your ratio. What ratio are you going to use? Animal? But that's the opposite and the hypotenuse. Sine. Good. So sine 60 degrees. Whoops. Always have a number or letter in between the ratio and the equal sign. Equals 40 over x. So x is in the basement. We have to get it out first by doing the opposite of division. We multiply by x. And then we have to get rid of the sine 60. So we do that by dividing by it. Then we can go to our calculator. That's not right. There we go. 46.2. How many people got that? Okay. Okay, try the next one now. Okay, label your HOA. Okay. Choose trig ratio. Gabriella, what ratio did you choose? Perfect. So cos theta equals 17 over 30. Now our work is different again. Since we don't know the angle, we have to split the ratio and move it to the other side. It becomes inverse cos. Make sure you can do this on your calculator. And you ought to use brackets and a division. 17 divided by 30 inverse cos. 55 degrees. Over here, we are asked to solve. We are given an angle, and a side. So what we want to do is we want to use the ratios to find the sides. And we want to use the 180 degree minus rule to find the other angle. So let's start by finding the unknown sides. Let's start finding side AM first. Okay, label your HOA, working with 50 degrees. So here we're given 20 for the hypotenuse and side O. Which ratio is O and H? Sine. So we can say sine 50 degrees, you must have a number or a letter there, equals AM over 20. Show your work, find the side. Go. $15.320888. Okay. Do you really want to do Pythagoras with all those decimals? No. That's why you don't want to do Pythagoras. Okay. Go ahead. Find now side AD. Don't have to relabel your HOA because we're not going to change the angle yet. Whoa. Okay, so it's okay to round to one decimal, but you never use any work with those decimals. Okay, you want to use an exact answer, something with lots of decimals. That's why we don't want to do Pythagoras, because it might not be accurate. Okay, it's easier to use the ratio for this. How do we find angle M then? That's good. 180 minus 90 minus 50 equals 40 degrees. Okay? So it depends on where we start. Let's go down to the very bottom question. We want to draw a triangle dog. We want to solve it. So let's draw it, and you can draw this thing any way you want to. Okay, what's the other way? This way? It doesn't matter which way you draw it, as long as it's a right angle. We know it has to be a right angle because that's what it tells us with angle O. So I'm just going to arbitrarily choose one way. I'll just choose this way just for kicks and giggles. Okay, so here's my right angle triangle. Okay. What capital letter must go in a specific spot? O. It tells you right here, O must go here. Do you guys know where to put D and G? Nope. Does it matter? Doesn't. Only O. Otherwise, they would have told you more. So since they didn't tell you, you can put that there. Now, I want you to put 30 and 58 on your triangle in the correct spot. Where's little d? I see capital D. What's so funny?
Why is I'm explaining this?
Little d?
Oh my gosh! Emma? Can I,
Okay.
oh my gosh.
So, little d needs to go right here. Dion. I know sign language. Okay. 30 goes right there. Slater, where does little g go? Pardon me? Right here, correct. Probably. Don't need to be rude. Okay. Good. So this triangle is different. What are we given for this triangle? 2 sides. So for this one, we're going to solve it different then. What's easy for us to do then is simply do Pythagoras. Okay. For the third side. Guys, focus, please. Okay. Then what we're going to do for the angles is we'll use ratios to find the angles. Okay, so real quick, let's do Pythagoras to find DG. So DG squared equals, then what DG equals. Now we'll go to a decimal just to show you. If you want to use that number, you'd have to use a lot of decimals. So don't use it. When you're doing your ratios, use what they give you. Okay. So label your HOA. Here's your hypotenuse. And we're going to find angle G first, so that's the opposite side. So please find angle G. So 63 degrees. Okay, then you can find angle D. This would be big D. I'm not sure what you guys are laughing at here. Yeah. Ah, you guys are too smart for your own good. I just want to show you something on the calculator, so that's why. $27 degrees, and so you're right, okay? So the other way of finding angle D would be 180 minus. I'm glad you guys saw that. Okay.
Well, Evan.
Well, yes, Evan did.
I would have still done it.
Okay.
I would have done it.
Any questions about that? Now, there's a couple other things.
Did you do more?
Here's your rectangle. Which angle is smaller, A or B? No. Angle A is smaller. So when it tells you to find the smaller acute angle, look at the diagram. What if you're unsure and you're scared?
Oh.
Instead of crying, just find both, and then you'll know which one's smaller. Okay? And then circle your answer once you figure out which one's smaller. Don't just sit there and start blubbering. Okay? Actually find your answer. Looking at your triangle, if the rectangle rather, if the measurements were 100 by 50, where would you put 100? Over here?
No.
Why?
Because it's short.
Exactly. So put the big measurement on the big side. Whoops. Woo.
Put the big measurement on the big side.
Oh, where's it? Undo.
Apple's head.
Where?
The problem with having too high tech.
Yeah, you're pretty funny.
We did a
Okay, so there should be 50. Good. Any questions?
oh man.
On any test or quiz, you cannot measure it unless it says the diagram is drawn to scale. That's a very important point. So when we start in word problems, you can't take out your protractor and say, oh, it's 22 degrees. It's not drawn to scale. Okay? What I want you to do is take your protractor, measuring. All right, who's got the answers?
Yeah, I know.
Dion. Dion says that's 25 degrees. Do you agree?
Not yet.
No? No?
I still need to do it.
No, it'll be a whole number like 25, a group of 5.
Oh wait, it's like exactly 25.
Good. And what's the top one then? Devinder.
6.
Top one?
Okay.
Does that make sense? That's one is 65 and one is 25? That's right, because if they equal 90. Yay.
Will it always equal 90?
Either that or you're measuring wrong. It has to, because all the triangles have to up to 180.